I just want to talk quickly about kind of like a training plan, like what we should be doing. So mainly for the guys that aren't playing a winter sport. So J Sauce and Lance. For you guys, it would just have to be adjusted a little bit. But you're not playing a winter sport, right? Do you, Braden? No? Okay. All right, so for you guys, this definitely applies. Kind of just like how much we should be throwing, hitting. Should we still be lifting? Should we be doing cardio, sprint work? So I sent the plan in Game Changer as well, so you can kind of reference that. And, this isn't like a perfect formula for everyone. This is what I'm suggesting. If it works for you, great. But definitely modify it, based on your needs and based on how you feel. Like Coach always says, 1% better each day, right? So instead of, it'd be way better if we're doing something small each day, an hour of, half hour of lifting and then, half hour of baseball skill work. So an hour total is way better than, working out for 3-4 hours in one day and then not doing anything for 4 or 5 days, right? If we're doing something for 45 minutes to an hour each day, that's ideal. Again, if you're playing another sport, obviously it'll change. So baseball right now, I think we should be throwing, hitting, fielding at least 3 times a week. So even for you guys playing winter sports, try to throw at least 3 times a week. And J Sauce, I'm sure you are with Redland workouts. They have you working out baseball at all?
I'm not allowed to.
Because of basketball. All right, so you're throwing once with us when you come to practice, which is great. If you could throw 2 other times, good. For you guys who are out of season, I'd say now like 3 to 6 times a week. Maybe give your body one day break. But obviously we're not throwing as hard as we can, as much as we can every single day, right? If you throw a lot at practice today and you're sore tomorrow, do you think you should throw tomorrow or take the day off?
Take the day off.
Right, take the day off, right? But do something else. Go lift or, do sprints or mobility work. Do something to keep your body moving. We always want to keep our body moving every single day. When we're stagnant and just sitting there, playing the game, not doing anything, that's when we decline. But we don't have to work our hardest every single day. We shouldn't work our hardest every single day because we need recovery time. And recovery is just as important as the lifting, as the throwing, the hitting, and the sprints. So right now, moderate reps. So, with us, we're going to do like 15 to 20 flat ground for pitchers today. Not 50 pitches. And then, so to medium high intensity. So, maybe like 70 to 80% today with the flat grounds, no higher. Once we get in like maybe 2 weeks later, midway into February, then we can start to ramp it up and, start throwing like 100%. But these are things we want to start to build up gradually. And especially for us, if you haven't been working out with your high school team, we haven't done that much throwing. So we don't want to go, balls to the wall, our first few times out. Strength work, in my opinion, you should still be lifting like 3 to 4 times a week, even with doing baseball the other 3 or 4 times, because we have to maintain the strength you built, right? If you lifted hard, hopefully November, December, January, we still want to maintain that. So doing maybe like 8 to 12 reps, I'd say would be good right now of like 2 or 3 sets to like 80 to 90% of how much you can lift if you're not playing a winter sport. So we can still kind of build strength right now that we're not in season. Once March hits and then we are in season, then ease back on like the weight that you're lifting. But if you can still get in and do something strength-wise, it's really going to help you guys. Because a lot of guys are strong in the beginning of the season, and then they start to like decline towards the end because they're not lifting, in season. And I know that you're practicing 6 days a week, and it's a lot. But if you can still get in the weight room, once or twice a week during the season, it's really going to help you out. Mobility work, we can do this, every single day, just simple stretching, whatever you want to do. Touch your toes, boom, boom. Simple stretches. If you have a mobility routine, great. And we'll go over some stuff today that you can do mobility-wise, stretching-wise. What do you guys need? Like you probably have like a weightlifting program, right? Does anyone need? We can't really go over it here because we don't have weights. I could show you some body weight stuff, but do you guys have like a mobility routine? Okay, so help with that. What about like explosive work, like jumps, plyometrics, sprints? You guys have stuff for that? So more like stretching and mobility. All right. And then your cardio, like, which is sprints, jumps, like those box jumps, any sort of like plyometrics where we're doing explosive movements. I'd say like 2 to 4 times a week. And again, this is all in Game Changer, so you can reference that. And that's all going to be important, right? Because baseball, we need to be strong, but we need to be explosive too. Let's see. So if you're lifting super heavy, take more rest days, right? So, if you're going to lift heavy tomorrow, don't lift heavy again Tuesday. Take a lighter day on Tuesday, do maybe, some mobility stuff, maybe lift light, and then Wednesday you can hammer it again. So we don't want to lift as much as we can every single day. We need recovery.
Or switch. So, like, with Susquehanna, what we do is one day's leg day, one day shoulders, and then we do something else. And it takes about 45 minutes for those kids to get through it. And then we do abs, and we vary the ab work on what it is. And then we do some form of cardio. One day it might be all explosive training. The next day is they run the hall from one end of the school to the other. It's a half mile. They do it 4 times. So they literally run 2 miles. So if you're going to go, if your school workout tomorrow is leg day, Tuesday, work shoulders. Don't do legs again, or do something else. If you're a pitcher, do not bench press. Okay? That makes you tight in here. You don't want to be tight in through here. Okay? So do not do bench press if you're a pitcher.
You can do like dumbbells.
Dumbbells.
Don't do the bar.
Don't do the bar.
Even like if it's like incline bench?
Yeah.
Not with the bar, no. Because you're restricted, like Coach is saying here, and it puts a lot of stress on your shoulder.
You'll find out no matter how much you can bench and how stronger that makes you, you'll probably throw slower.
But do dumbbells.
Yeah.
Do dumbbell bench and dumbbell incline bench.
Yeah, because
Great.
dumbbells help you stretch too. So they actually are not only they're going to create the muscle that you're looking for, but they're actually going to help you stretch out and get you a little bit more flexible than the bar is going to be. The bar is just going to make you tight and restrict your movement.
I agree, 100%. Listen to your body, right? If you're very sore or something's hurting, don't keep pushing through it, especially not this time of year, especially with your throwing arm. And I've done this myself. I could throw through this. You think you can throw through it. A week later, it's still nagging and it's hurting more. So sometimes, especially throwing arm-wise, if we have any pain, shoulder, front, or back, or elbow in here, we should probably shut it down. So hopefully that's not happening to anyone. But again, if you're very sore from lifting, listen to your body. Make sure you're getting proper recovery. Find out when you're throwing bullpens for high school. Well, you should know by now. So whenever you're throwing bullpens for high school, then the next day, if you want to do light throwing, great, or take off and lift, or do sprint work, do something else. Don't throw bullpens 2 days in a row, or even like every other day. Give yourself a few days off, especially this time of year.
Throw every other day, just not a bullpen.
Yes. Never lift before you throw, right? So we don't want to be tired when we're throwing, right? We want our full range of motion, our full strength in our shoulder and the rest of our body when we're throwing. So if you're going to lift and throw in the same day, that's great. Make sure you throw first. Do your baseball skill work first and then lift after. Same thing, never throw more than one time in a day, right? If you have practice with your high school team, like Jackson told me, that was perfect. He already threw today. He's not going to throw it all with us. He's just going to hit and field, and that's it. So you never want to throw more than once a day. Again, recovery is key. Pay attention to your nutrition, right? Especially the more work you're doing, the more you're lifting, the more sprints, baseball work, you're going to need to eat more to fuel your muscles, right? And we're talking quality protein, beef, chicken, fish, eggs, and then quality carbs as well. All right, rice, white or brown. Potatoes are great, sweet potatoes. Some people like lentils, quinoa, whatever it is. All right, high quality bread, is fine. If we're eating fried or frozen dino nuggets and cereal all day, we're not going to give our body the proper nutrition it needs. So you can eat that shit and eat cereal, that's fine, but maybe eat eggs with it, so you get the protein. And then you can treat yourself to whatever you want, but your body needs that nutrition to supplement your muscles. And make sure you're getting quality sleep. So this is often overlooked, and I think one of the most important things you guys can do at your age is focus on your nutrition and sleep. Because everybody focuses on the lifting, the throwing, the hitting, which are also important, but if you guys aren't recovering through your sleep and your nutrition, then you're not going to be at the elite level that you would like to be, especially if you have aspirations to play college baseball. So, if you're on your phone till midnight every night on a school night, you're not doing yourself justice and you're not giving your body or your brain proper time to shut down and rest and recover. Does that make sense to everyone? And just make small changes. If you're getting 6 or 7 hours of sleep a night, try to get 6.5 or 7.5, right? Go to bed a half hour earlier. We don't expect you guys to go to bed, if you're going to bed at midnight, to go to bed at 9 o'clock. You're never going to be able to fall asleep. Do it by half hour increments. Same with lifting. If you haven't been working out, start slow. Work out for a half hour. See how you feel. See what happens the next day, and then slowly build on that. Just like throwing, we want to slowly build our arm strength up with how much we're throwing, how much we're swinging. We don't want to go balls to the wall in the beginning. Does that make sense to everyone? All right, you got anything else, Coach?
And the biggest thing is, like you said, if you're not really on a lifting program now, be smart if you're going to start. Like, if you've never squatted, do you think it's wise to put 245s on there and start squatting right away? Or should you maybe put like a 10 on each end and squat with something light just to get loose?
The form is more important than the weight.
Yeah.
To start, especially.
That's one thing that we did is we had them start with light. Their next rep got heavier and heavier and heavier. We're now to the point where they're starting with something medium heavy-ish and working down to finish as we're coming into the season. So, as you guys know, I'd be willing to bet most of you are probably a month out from your first scrimmage. I'll be highly surprised if you're going to get more than a week of practice before your first scrimmage.
That's why we can get in here.
Yeah. And then communicate with us like Jackson did this week, like 2 weeks ago Chris did with me. If you're throwing with your high school team and you're throwing a lot already, tell us so we know. I know you work out at a facility, private thing on the side. So you got to communicate. Maybe you didn't throw today with your high school team, but maybe you threw a 60 pen yesterday. So then obviously you're not really going to you're going to throw really light today. Nothing super heavy. Okay? So you guys have to communicate so we know and we can adjust the plan, because we're here to help you get better, not ruin you for your high school. Okay?
Yeah, well said. Thank you. Anybody got any questions on that? Does that make sense to everyone? And if you haven't been lifting, also don't, especially this close to the season, the last thing you want to do is get hurt. So start to tone down the amount of weight, slowly, and then do more reps with lighter weight. Okay, as we get closer to the season.
Yeah. So Billy, he said like eight reps in a set. So as you're getting closer to the season, bump it up to maybe 12 to 15 reps in a set, but drop your weight down. So if you're doing squats with a 45 on each end, and you're doing that 8 times, 9 times, now you should be putting 25s on each end, but doing it 15 times.
Yep. So then we're building stamina for the season. Does that make sense? All right. If you guys have questions, ask. I learned all this shit through trial and error. So it's like you guys have us as resources. Ask questions. Ask your high school coaches. They know things. You know, we're all here to help you guys, but you have to ask. If you don't ask us, we can't read your mind.
If you're looking for flexibility things, Google yoga.